It's time, people, to unveil Brittany. Got it between rain showers here. It's going to cut loose again here in a little bit. But first, we're going to show let me get my bungees out of the way. It's starting to sprinkle already as soon as I start to uncover her. That's okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got a list of things to do in there. My shoulder is on a scale of 1 to 10. It's killing me. I guess that'd be a 1. I did kind of overextend it, pulling, jerking, and doing all the stuff I'm not supposed to do. I didn't bother to put the air in that one tire. Brittany, have to come out here. Other than air in this one tire, she's sitting level. Especially on the other side because it's got air in tires. I got my spacing. Steering rod. Look at that. This one's close. It's about 3/4 of an inch. I had Jimmy rotate this one down up here. So we got, this goes 1/2 inch. This one's about 3/4, just to give us a little extra. Look here. My pointer's not working. Misses everything. Just look at this. Space all the way down. All the way. Well, I can feel it. She's tight, okay? You can see the daylight down through there, and it sits right there above it. I get my finger right under there. This is the lip right here that was questioning it. I got 1/4 of an inch. Lucky me. What was I saying about sitting perfect? I'll get that out. I'll get it painted and get it cleaned up, more brushed, and we'll get it reinstalled. Right after we do the tie rod ends, they came today. That's impressive. Little piece of trash rubber here. Well, it fell. Grandson come out and help me. He had to pry the engine a little bit so I could wiggle it and get the bolt in it without, you know, be hammering it in there, making it strip out and messing up my bolt. But you can see I got the clearance, but it's tight, and it'll move, and the engine movement won't mess with it. This tight motor mount, when it's torqued down, it's not going to move a whole lot anyway. I just got to get my... In fact, while I'm showing off my one and done drop, that's my grandson. He puts everything in here so Grandpa can put it away where Grandpa knows where it is. That's his excuse. Take one of the cutoffs out here. See if I can get an angle on it. That's like throwing something on the ground. Excuse me for bouncing the camera around. Kind of trying to show you this and beat the rain at the same time. That's where she goes. See, this goes right here. I can hear the thunder in the background, can you? Right here. So it'll come out like this. Okay. So that it can't chattel against the body. It'll be snuggled right down in about there. I'll have 2 inches from the brake line, 1 7/8 or so, 1 3/4 to the collector where the pipe takes off. And when you turn the wheel, which I can't do because it's on the ground right now, it'll turn in. It's a little bit close. However, we are getting 4-inch flares because we're going 15 by 7s with a deeper offset, so it's still 5 inches of rubber to the other side, which is, I already checked them, the same as the MG wheel. The extra tire is out to the outside. So when I put on a 4 by 4.25 MG adapter to a 5, see, times 4.75, yeah, that's it, pattern, we got it. Okay, we actually gain more room for the header down pipes to be away from the tires when we're turning and stuff. There's the rally wheels is going on. I don't know what else to show you. We'll be dropping the coil pack, a little fabricating, nothing major. I'm dropping the coil packs down. I'm just going to re-drill and remove and do some fabricating. Move this down. Not going to hurt anything. I'm only going to bring them down far enough for this to be hanging over. I don't want this hanging over the header heat. Just asking for trouble. So I'll bring it down. So this here is the only thing hanging over. Now I'm not going to have a hot box because I got plenty of air moving through here. We got some design to do on the water pump stuff. come straight. This is going to get changed. People say you can't do it. I'm going to try it. There's no ifs, ands, buts, or forts about it. I'm going to do it to get exactly what I want. Next up on my list to do is I got to change the crushed oil filter. Yeah, I crushed it. I got to tighten up the bolts and lock them in on the mounts I made. I got to get the washer, lock nut, and regular nut on the transmission mount. So when I go under the car, I'll just make a list and take everything with me and just do all of it while I'm down there. Saves me from getting up and down. And then I'll put the car back down again and set it on some jack stands and stuff and pull the tires, and I'll start on the outer tie rod ends, get them ready to go, and hopefully the bellows will be here tomorrow or the next day, and I'll have new bellows to put on there, the boots. And then while it's open and the wheel's off and I'm doing all that, I'm just going to go ahead and insert the pads. Load from the front of the calipers. I'm just going to load the pads, put the hardware on it, and put the Carter keys in it, and be done with the brakes. And then the whole front end's done. The engine is in where it should be. There's no problem with that. Okay, it's tight and right. Now I want you to kind of see what's going on. Now the starter has to come up the bottom nose cone in, rotate, and get bolted in. I'll dig it up tomorrow because I got to go get the oil filter and everything. I got to touch up some of my paint work. So I'll hang the starter. I'll change the oil filter with another pre-primed oil filter. I'll bolt it. I'll tighten up the bolts on the mounts and do everything underneath the car in one shot for now. And then we'll come out, pull the tires, and start on the front end. Once we have the tie rod ends back on it in approximate position where they belong, I will redo the sway bar. We'll put it back in. And starting next week, I'm gonna pick the tubing up later and stuff. Steven come over to help me, my grandson, and the first thing he did was, "Hey Grandpa, I just broke something." He took out a spark plug. I messed with him a little bit and I said, "Don't worry about it, I already bought a set, they're in there." Because I knew somewhere between this and putting the headers on, I was gonna lose at least one of them. So I just put a whole matching set in, no problem. Like I'm saying, I want to move the coil packs down about 3/4 of an inch, just a smidge down. Say, drill a hole about there and there, and just drop it down a little on both sides. Nothing to really interfere with anything that I think of. No, the wires will just lay on top of the valve cover. That's my vent. The decision has been made on the manifold, but I'm not getting into the plumbing and all that stuff. This will be a side projects. As soon as the headers are up and everything, we're putting the fenders on the car, and I'm going to order the adapters. We'll put the 15s on the front because I want them in here when I'm working on it to figure out the radius of the tires and the offset and everything. And then we'll go strictly to the back of the car. Oh man, my arm is... I've really overdone it. I'm going to pay the price for the next couple days. That looks 100% different. So starting tomorrow, I promised wife I'd take it easy. Got to start in that corner right there. Come right here and start putting everything away and all the projects I got going on. This is a project that'll get done here shortly. Next one up. I got to deburr these, clean them up, clean metal, gaskets, header bolts, and these are header collectors. Yeah, header bolts. I'll get them up. As soon as it's done, I'll put the collectors on, where it collects in the big one from 4 to 1, and it drops down in size. The idea is just to come through here and just start cleaning up and only leaving the stuff laying out that I'm in the process of working. I got stuff laying out I just got done using. I got an alternator bracket I started working on, I never got to finish. I got to clean the transmission shield. And after the lines go on and the computer gets plugged into it, you put that shield on to protect it. That's kind of a gimme. Now this thing is like, yeah, I got the shorty. I don't need this thing sticking up. Here's parts of the oil pan. I got crap everywhere. There's my glasses. There's the tensioner. There's the pulley. So basically what I'm going to do is start working through all of the stuff on the bench first and get it all cleaned up and organized like I had it. Put all the stuff that I know that I can't use at this time. It may go back on the LS in the LS keeper tote. Because as we get done, this gets cleaned up. I got to fold this up and put it out of the way. And then the keeper tote stays right there with that. And we'll move this. We'll find a place for the LS mock-up engine. We'll get the oil drying stuff down here out of the way. I got stuff to box up and put here. This stuff I've got to get on by this weekend for my Bobcat and get it back down to my son's. He's moving pretty quick on that thing, but he's taking some time off. He's working mandatory double shifts right now, collecting the big money. So he'll be working on it when he can. And as soon as I get up to this corner, hopefully it'll be time to, I'll be cutting and fabricating headers in here next week. And once that's all done, I want to sweep and clean and get all the grit up and all the dusty stuff I'm constantly inhaling, and run the shop vac in here and get everything. I got like 5 different things going on and 5 different tools and stuff piled up. I need to just go through and get myself reorganized, get a grip on everything. I want to hang out, clean that, finish that oil pan up, hang it on the wall. I got to take a pan gasket. I got the box in the house. I got 2 sets of bolts for the oil pan. One for that came with this oil pan, and one that was on the engine. I'll throw them all in the box because the oil pan bolts are only good for the oil pan. To keep them separate, I'll just stick them over there out of the way. And because once the headers are fabricated, I'm not going to put the fenders back on it, but you can see why, until we're done fabricating. I can put the wings back on it, the front fenders, whichever you prefer to call it. Roll her in here and she goes back up in the air again, like she was before. And I'll have enough room in the front to walk around and keep bolting stuff on the engine, engine compartment, whatever, as I get around to that stuff. Then I'm going to pull, I'll get the camera set up. I've been soaking the bolts, so I'll be pulling the gas tank comes out, the fuel pump comes out, the lines come out, the dampers, which is a shock, comes out, the damper control arms come out, the leather don't overextend, the damper straps come out, the rear end from the brake drum comes out, the springs will come out. We're going to be cleaning them up. They're in good shape. I'm putting new polyurethane bushings on them. And then at the same time, I got to get the brackets ready for the GM rear end. And so while I'm doing one or doing the other, I can concentrate on this because there's a lot of fabrication going on under this car in the rear. So I'm not going to be in a hurry just to beat my head against the wall. So whenever it stalls or I got to wait for a part or something, I'm gonna start working on some body work. Because as soon as everything is done and the drive shaft's in, I'm going to plummet the brake lines, the fuel lines, and everything to the engine. No ifs, ands about it. It's going to be ready to rock and roll. Jimmy's welding equipment relief. This, I like this lift. This will go back to Philip probably tomorrow. I don't need it in my way. I'll get it all folded up ready for him to pick it up. I'll just have Brit right here so I can work around her, or I'd be working up underneath her. And Miss Gabby here was telling me it's time to go back in the house. Probably because my shoulder's killing me and she knows it, and I can't, it hurts to move it. So for the next couple days, I'll just be cleaning and organizing and laying parts out and doing some work here and there. As soon as I get back on it, the car will go up again, and like I said, I'll go in and do the starter, the motor mounts, and everything under the car at one shot for the front half. And then I can come out and pull the tires off and work on the tie rod ends. So that'll be a plus. Then I'll be fitting the sheet metal back together. Now when I'm not banging on the sheet metal, I'll be underneath the car, because I want to try to get a jump on the sheet metal, because I want to shave off the marker lights. I already shaved off the antenna. I'm going to, the chrome is gone on the sides. It's going to be an interesting looking car. Totally interesting. I'm trying to put a fresh look to her. But that's it, everybody. One and done. I had to wrestle a little bit, but it went in. I did not, repeat, have to. Take it back out. One and done, drop it. Right in the middle, I just had to call it on rain. There was nothing else I could do. So basically the work will get easier on my shoulder while I'm cutting the pipe and fabricating everything. Let me get this closed up while we're talking. Just give you the heads up there that it's done. Come on. I can feel the rain starting to move in. It'll be raining in about 5 minutes, so I'll get this run real quick. Like I say, one and done drop. Never done one before. Spent a lot of time prepping for it, and it did happen. So we'll do a lot of part gathering, cleaning, organizing, laying things out. Might give an explanation or two about where we're going. And I hate to say it, that's all I got today. Brittany did a one and done drop on the engine. Like, subscribe, get your build on, and have a blessed day.